So Hare Krishna, everybody. So today we will continue our 11th chapter. I hope you all attended the science and spirituality session and you enjoyed it. So I'll just dive into the session. Just one second. So where the presentation is. So before that, let's start off with Mangalacharan. Yeah. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjalachalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadatikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavanishwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivachadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Come on, all of you, unmute yourself. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama Rama,
Rama
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Hare.
So we left here and I'll start this. Before we start this, let me give a quick, wrap up of whatever we discussed so far. So what is happening in the 11th chapter is, 11th chapter opens up with respect to Krishna satisfying Arjuna's wish to see the Vishwarupa. He would like to see what the cosmic manifestation is. That's when he shows a demonstration. So far it was Shrinu, and now he's giving a vision called the Divya Drishti for him to see. And Arjuna experiences this, and we are seeing what is Arjuna's experience and of the universal form. And he very openly admits that demigods are very scared. He sees Bhishma, Dronacharya, Karna are all gushing into the mouth, and he says that so is he scared, just like him. And now we will see Krishna's reply, right? So from 11.32 we have to see. And what does Krishna reply? Krishna replies by saying that not to worry, because he is time, and therefore nothing is why do you call time the subduer of enemy? Because irrespective of whoever it is, whether he is rich or poor, whether he is bad or good, time is anyways going to end. So the day we are born, the day of death is mentioned here, right? So he very clearly says, I'm time and I'm going to destroy the world, and with an exception of Pandava. So very clearly he says both soldiers are going to die except Pandavas, who will be the exception. So 11.33 I'll read. One of you all please start reading the translation after I finish. Thank you so much. I hope your throat is better today. Hare Krishna. But you rest today, you don't do the reading. Somebody else can do. Tasmat tamam uttisthaya sulabhasva jitva shatrun bhungshva rajam samvridam maye vaite nihata purvam eva nimittamatram bhavasavya sachin. Hare Krishna. Please go ahead and read. Who's going to read? Nobody?
Hare Krishna, ma'am.
Hare Krishna, Simran. Yes, Simran.
Yeah, I'm better today. I can read. Can I?
Sure, no problem. But make sure you don't strain your throat. If you're not comfortable anytime, no problem. You can stop.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Therefore, get up and prepare to fight. After conquering your enemies, you will enjoy a flourishing kingdom. They are already put dead by my arrangement, and you, O Savasni, can be but an instrument in the fight.
Hare Krishna. Savyasachi. So the term Savyasachi means somebody who can fight with both hands. right? Even some people who can write with both hands the same time, okay, that person is called Sabyasachi. Also somebody who's an expert in something. So Arjuna is expert in archery and he could fight at the same time with both his hands. So that is one thing. And what is Krishna is telling? Tasmat means therefore, right? Tvam utisva yasao labasva. Please get up and fight. So he's telling, come on, that's enough. Get up and fight. Now, because you've already seen the future. Anyway, all this is going to happen. Karna is going to be chewed. Bhishma is going to die, and except Pandava, everybody's death is assured. So please be an instrument, right? Don't think of anything, just be an instrument to fight. So he's very clearly saying that you're only an instrument. Example is when they perform a surgery, a doctor performs a surgery with this particular instrument. So if the surgery is successful, will you say doctor was successful, or will you say the blade did an amazing work on the patient? What would you say? Will you appreciate the scissor and the blade, or will you appreciate the person, or the doctor? Right? So is Krishna. So Krishna is the person here, and the blade is just Arjuna, which means that he's just an instrument. So we can go ahead with 11.34. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The blessed Lord said, all the great warriors, Drona, Bhishma, Jayadratha, Karna, are already destroyed. Simply fight and you will vanquish your enemies.
Hare Krishna. So he's saying that you don't have to worry. Drona, Bhishma, Karna is fine. But why Jayadratha is highlighted? Jayadratha is a brother-in-law of Duryodhana. That is, Duryodhana had one sister and her husband is Jayadratha. And when they were in exile, they always say it's better to kill the enemy but not leave a wounded tiger. So he misbehaves with Draupadi, and instead of killing him, honor is very important, right? So they tonsure his head and they insult him and send. And Jayadratha goes for so many years, he takes a benediction from Lord Shiva that one day, all Pandavas except Arjuna, he won't be able to control him because he's under the direct supervision of Krishna. But other Pandavas, he will be able to not win but control them. He can actually stop them. So that is what he says. So you can read 35 and 36. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sanjaya said to Dhrashtachara, O king, after hearing these words from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Arjuna trembled, fearfully offered obeisances with folded hands and began paternally to speak as follows. 11.36. O Shri Krishna, the world become joyful upon hearing your name, and thus everyone become attached to you. Also, the perfect being offer you their respectful homage. The demons are afraid and they flee here and there. All this is rightly done.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So beautifully and lovely you're reading. Sanjaya is now giving a commentary to Dhritarashtra. He's saying that after all this, Arjuna started trembling. And he starts speaking, O Rishikesha. Right? So Rishikesha means controller of senses. And Krishna can control his senses. So that's why he's called that. He says your name and thus everyone becomes attached to you. Every single person is so attached to you. Although everyone pay homage to you, that is all the demigods are paying homage, but the demons are scared and they run away. They just flee and they run away. Right? All this is also perfectly done, is what he is saying. Now 11.37. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. O great one who stands above even Brahma, you are the original master. Why should they not offer their homage up to you? O limitless one, O refuge of the universe, you are the invincible source, the cause of all causes, transcendental to this material manifestation. Can I go ahead, Mataji?
Yeah, please go ahead.
11.38. You are the original personality, the Godhead. You are the only century of this manifested cosmic world. You know everything and you are all that is not knowable. You are above the material moods, O limitless form. This whole cosmic manifestation is pervaded by you.
So nice, right? So he says, oh great, you even stand above even Brahma. Because we know obviously Brahma is a secondary creator and he's the original creator, original master. And he says, why not anybody pay homage? Because you are so limitless and you're the cause of all causes. What is the cause? He's the cause of the spiritual world, he's the cause of material world, he's the cause of us, and he's the cause of origin of demigods as well. So he says you're the original person, right? And you know everything and you're all knowable, right? There's nothing which is not known. So this will come more clearly in the 15 chapter 15 verse, right? There it says about Vedas. So there he will say that the destination is also same. So it says It goes like that. Sarvasya chaham iti sannivisto mattasmriti jnanam apoham se vedeshu sarveshu aham eva vedyo vedanta krit veda vit eva chaham. Right? So beautifully it says that he is a compiler and he is a writer of Vedas. We'll discuss in length when we come to the chapter. But for now, what he says is you know everything and you are above the material modes. Right? You are nirguna, which means you are above the material modes. And he says the entire cosmic manifestation, which is the material world, is mainly pervaded by you. 11.41 to 42. You can read. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I have in the past addressed you as O Krishna, O Yadava, O my friend, without knowing your glories. Please forgive whatever I may have done in madness or in love. I have dishonored you many times while relaxing or while lying on the same bed or eating together, sometimes alone and sometimes in front of many friends. Please excuse me for all my offenses.
So he says very clearly in the past, right? I have addressed you with various ways, right? So you knew they both were friends and relatives, cousins, right? So he has, you know how you relate to your friend, right? You will tell, hey bro, hey dude, hey come on, yaar, you know. So I think in typically Bangalore and all, some of them have the habit of addressing as guru, hey guru, and all that, right? So and in Andhra, I think they say Baba and all that. So in a very casual note, right? So like that, they would be having so many short nature, right? And besides that, you know, they were eating together, lying down together, playing together. So in the process, he is not even sure how he insulted. There are situations when Krishna has taken his Gandhiva bow and he has told, no, 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 give it to me. I can do better. You know, like ironically, because they are never envious. So he says that they had such a great understanding. So he says, please excuse me, because I never knew you're such a greatest person. Happens for us also, right? We think our friend is just an ordinary person. And suddenly we realize he's so super, super powerful and holding a big position, you feel so bad, right? So that's exactly what Arjuna is feeling. He's happy, but at the same time, he's a little stoned and stunned. 11.45, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. After seeing this universal form, which I have never seen before, I am gladdened, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed with fear. Therefore, please bestow your grace upon me and reveal again your form as the personality of Godhead, O Lord of Lords, O abode of the universe.
Hare Krishna. So he says, seeing this universal form, I've never seen before. So he's also declaring that I've never seen this universal form before. And he says, I'm so happy, but at the same time, my mind is disturbed. One side, I'm having mixed feeling. I'm happy, I'm scared, but now please have grace and come back to your original form. So in between, he will tell, okay, come back to now that you're going to come back to the original form, show me the Vishnu form, which is a four-handed form. And then show me the two-handed form. So let's see what is in 11.46. Hare Krishna.
O universal Lord, I wish to see you in your four-armed form with helmeted head and with cloud ceiling, couch, and lotus flower in your hands. I long to see you in that form.
So now he is very desperate to see the four-handed form. Anyway, bumper offer, we've seen neophyte form. And now let me see the four-handed form. So he is asking for the four-handed form of Vishnu also. 11.48. Hare Krishna.
O best of the Kuru warriors, no one before you has ever seen this universal form of mine. For neither by studying the Vedas, nor by performing sacrifices, nor by charities or similar activities can this form be seen. Only you have seen this.
Hare Krishna. So he says, oh, best of Kurus, no one before has ever seen this universal form of mine. He says, neither by studying Vedas, nor by any sacrifice, nor by charity. No other time, no way you can see the two-handed form. Even Brahma can see only hear the Vishnu, the Shirodakshaya Vishnu. He doesn't have a chance to see the form. So he says that nobody can do this, right? So that's what he's trying to prove. Let's go ahead with 11.49. Hare Krishna.
Your mind has been perturbed upon seeing this horrible feature of mine. Now let it be finished, my devotee. Be free from all disturbance. With peaceful mind, you can see the form you desire. Hare Krishna.
So he says, like, right now, let it be finished. So Krishna is so polite and so concerned. He says, I know, I can totally understand how you're disturbed and you're so perturbed. Now let's put an end to it. Let it be finished, right? And my devotee, and you can be free from all the disturbances. With a peaceful mind, you can now desire to see whatever you want to see. So we'll put an end to all this, is what he is saying. So 11.50. Hare Krishna.
Sanjaya said to Drishtachara, the supreme personality of Godhead, Krishna, while speaking thus to Arjuna, displayed his real four-armed form, and at last he showed him his two-armed form, thus encouraging the fearful Arjuna.
So the Vishwarupa or the Virat Rupa is the multi-dimensional form. That is why Arjuna says, I'm offering prayers on all sides, up also, down also, left also, right also. Just imagine everywhere he's seeing Krishna, right? And then he's still scared, right? He's wonderstruck but scared. So he asked for the four-handed form, so which you can see, Sangha Chakra Gada, right? So with all that and the Pushpa, right? With lotus, he is coming in the four-handed form and also appearing in the two-handed form, and therefore encouraging Arjuna. So we're almost coming to the end. Yes, ma'am. Hare Krishna.
When Arjuna thus saw Krishna in his original form, he said, seeing this human-like form so very beautiful, my mind is now pacified and I am restored to my original nature.
Hare Krishna. He says that seeing this human-like form, right? It's a four-handed form. Just because he's human-like, it doesn't mean he's a human being. So God, many times we say we are draft, he created because he's good. No, there were many animals which were created, and then he created us in his original form. The form which he is the way in which he created us. And he says that I am restored to my original nature. So my mind is pacified and now I am calm, is what Arjuna is telling, because he's seen his friendly form of the two hands, right? 11.52.
The blessed Lord said, my dear Arjuna, the form which you are now seeing is very difficult to behold. Even the demigods are ever seeking the opportunity to see this form, which is so dear.
So he's saying this particular two-handed form, I already told you that even four-handed form is very difficult for the demigod. And this two-handed form is very, very difficult. In Brahma Samhita, Brahma has sung the song. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanina Sandhaya Sadaiva Hirdeshu Viloshayanti Yam Shama Sundara Akincha Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamam Bhajami. So beautifully, it's a sloka said, which Brahma is praying, and he says very clearly, this is very rare even for the demigods, right? So that much he's highlighting. Yes, ma'am. 11.54. Hare Krishna.
My dear Arjuna, only by undivided devotional service can I be understood as I am standing before you and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into the mysteries of my understanding. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Now we'll all ask, okay, if the demigods can't see, then why is he seeing and why is Arjuna seeing? So Krishna has given an answer. How can he see Krishna? He says only by undivided devotional service. Unalloyed service is the only way in which you can see. And he says, I can be understood as I am standing before you and can thus be seen directly. Only in this way can you enter into my mysteries of my understanding. So he's very clearly saying, this is the only way you will be able to see and enter my mysteries. Otherwise, there's no way you will be able to even come to closely guessing who I am. Why? Because you are my devotee. So the two-handed form is not visible only to you because you're a devotee and only devotees can see. Even the demigods cannot see. So power, yeah, your Veda, your charity, austerity, sacrifices, nothing can get us to the two-handed form. Right? Hare Krishna. So this one you already read. So I'll just do the chanting. 11.54. Bhaktya tvananyaya sakya aham yevam vidojuna jnatum drishtum cha tatvena pravesha pratyate. So devotional service is what you can see, is what he clarifies. Now 11.55. Hare Krishna. Mat karma krit mat paramo mat bhakta sangha vrajah nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yah samnameti pandava. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Can I read Mataji?
Yeah, please, no problem.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. My dear Arjuna, one who is engaged in my pure devotional service, free from the contaminations of previous activities and from mental speculation, who is friendly to every living entity, certainly comes to me. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna is a beautiful thing. It is giving a checklist of how you can come or we can reach Krishna. He says mat karma krit, right? So one who's engaged in pure devotional service, free from all contaminations, right? So karma krit, all contaminations are gone. Oh, sorry, Krishna. Right? of the previous activities. Makt Bhakta, you have to have complete devotional service. Sangha Braja, right? Give up on wrong associations and have only healthy association. Nirvairaha, without having any ego, false ego or ahankar. Sarva Bhuteshu, with respect to all, you are basically very friendly. Yaha sa mam eti Pandava. Certainly you will come to me, right? So he's giving the thing, Pandava, most certainly, right? Mam, right? To me, you will definitely come. So that's the assurity Krishna is giving. So the chapter comes to an end with this. Thank you so much, Simran. So well you read. I'm just concerned of your throat. And thank you so much, Vijay Kumari Mataji, for the closure. So what is happening is Arjuna requests Krishna to show his universal form. And shows a multicolored form, multi-handed form. Now Arjuna's vision makes him get scared. So from the primary 5 rasas, there is secondary rasa, which is a fear and wow, right? Adbhuta is coming up. He experiences fear and requests to pull back the form, and Krishna tells, no problem, I will do. So Arjuna is also requesting, now that he requested first for Divya Drishti, now he's telling that I need to see a 4-handed form and 2-handed form. He says, no problem, I'll show. And Krishna also tells that time I have, Kala Chakra, I am the Kala Chakra, is what he's clearly saying. And then Arjuna offers prayer that I'm seeing you this side, that side, and all sides. And finally, he concludes by saying that Bhaktya Tvananya Sakya, you're a devotee, Bhaktya and Sakya. So this is what he concludes. And I'm sure you'll remember in the 2nd chapter, he specifically highlights this, right? You're the devotee and you're a Bhakta. So he is repeating that again here, telling that he is a devotee and Bhaktya. So that is a speciality of Krishna, right? Just one second. Is there any doubts? Do you all have any doubts? Does anyone have any doubt? Yes, no, don't know, don't want to know?
No, ma'am. No, Mataji.
Sure. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So with this, we will end the 11th chapter. Ideally, 11th chapter should be today, tomorrow, but I just thought quickly I will take you out so that Sri Lakshmi teaches level 3, in fact. So she'll be coming and teaching you all. So you all must be really lucky and blessed because she will teach at a much higher level. So you'll get to know more. So she's going to be here tomorrow onwards. We will go back to science and spirituality. We saw the physical methods, didn't we? We saw this, right? Yeah, eating, sleeping, and all this we saw about the various foods. So mind control, we spoke about liquid beauty and how beauty and goes, and a person who tries to solve problem by thinking of all, he will only land up with this kind of a family. And then we saw that we cannot concentrate on the circle of concern, but we should focus on the circle of influence, the one which we can influence. Right. So with that, we ended our method, and we are jumping into what's called the mental methods. Right. So today we will see the mental methods. Hare Krishna, and this is about science and spirituality. So what are the main mental methods we are talking about? So we can you guys. Can you see my screen?
Yes, Mataji.
But it's not like presenting, right? It's only, or is it presenting? No.
Presenting, we are able to see the screen.
But it's in the now presentation. So images of the mind. So first you're seeing the words, then you're hearing, then you're speaking, and you're generating. So these are reflections. So basically, we all know that soul is Chit Satchidananda, right? Sat, truth, knowledge, and bliss, right? So that we know for sure. And now what's happening is the gross body is made up of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. And what we do not know is the subtle body which is inside. As long as the subtle body is holding on to the gross body, you'll never be able to get liberated. And what are we talking about? Mental methods, right? So we're talking about various things like relaxation, self-talk, positive thinking, challenges, and all that. So let's start this video. 1 minute. I will play the video, but Mohandas Prabhu, you have to quickly pause because all this will go into copyrights. So will you pause the video? Don't stop.
Sure, I will.
So they are, Hare Krishna. So they are talking about 3 types of people. You would have noticed. The sattvic person is very clear, drinking the coconut water. The tamasic person is very clear, drinking alcohol. Now the major issue challenge is with Rajsik, right? Because they are confused. One side they are looking at the beer bottle, but he is decided not to drink, but he wants to take only water and tender coconut water. But his eyes is constantly, he's fighting a battle every day within himself. His mind is there. So now he can either overcome that by taking the tender coconut water, which is what he does. But the chance of slipping is very high for Rajsik. Anytime, he can slip and fall. So what is the difference between the three sins? So you can see somebody who's totally in tamas quality, somebody who's totally, in passion, and you can see someone in goodness who's very calm and composed. So what is the entire story, right? So you are talking about thinking. The good desire is what is dominant. And you has to stop. Stop recording. Pause recording problem. Hare Krishna. So very clearly you can see this particular person who's absolute mode of goodness, right? Calmness, and he says natural air, some food packed, and so that's the quality of the person. So what dominates there? So thinking, feeling, and willing, it's all in sync. So what you think in Kali Yuga, you will not be blamed, but what you think transforms to action. So your good desire executes, goes to willing, but bad desire also is an influencer. But there, the good desire is at a higher mode, but the bad desire is at a different state. Now, if you see the mode of passion, you see this person, you can see, come on, do it. You can do it. All the motivational speakers, all MBA graduates, all of them will be in this mode of passion, right? You can do it. You can see it. All this is the style with which they do. So the good desire and bad desire is more of a feeling. For the goodness, it's more into a willingness to execute. Right here, it's more of a feeling. Now, if you take this one, he's fully into drinking and all that. So here, if you see, the good desire and bad desire is just at the thinking stage. So it starts off there, and they don't even get into the next level. So this is what we are talking about, the various levels of understanding. So different levels of consciousness we will move, which is very important, which we will be studying not just once, but we will be studying many times. We will also be studying in the 13th chapter. So what is this 5 composed of? It's called the bodily platform. So I've already explained this to you. Example, animal. Animal will only think of eating, sleeping, mating, and that's it, nothing more. So it's at a very bodily platform. Example, someone wants to just eat, drink, and sleep. Exam is there tomorrow, he doesn't care. Now, that's an example. Now let's go to sensual platform. It's like a small child. The consciousness is present, but it's at a sensual platform. Life force is there, but then child can't differentiate, right? Whether you're coming to kill it or give it food, it's very independent. So the sensual platform is you're very confused, whether you're not clear. Okay, exam is there and you're at a puzzle trophy, like that at that level, right? These two are more into bodily platform. Now the third one goes into the subtler body, mental platform. So mental platform here is talking about, yes, exam is there tomorrow, and you are thinking, should I study or should I become a YouTube maker? You're constantly in confusion. So the quality of the mind, or rather the nature of the mind, is to basically do or not do. It's constantly thinking, should I do, should I not do? And this is called the jnana, right? Knowledge platform. The higher one is the intellectual platform, right? We also call it as IQ. IQ is the intellectual platform, which is higher than that of the knowledge. So intellectual platform is in the vijnana. It's a practical application. It says that, okay, if I don't study, I'm going to become care of platform. Therefore, I will study. And the higher is the spiritual platform, which is Anandamaya, right? Oh, definitely, I will have to focus on this. So the first 2 talks totally bodily platform. The top 3 talks about basically these 2. The 3 and 4 talks about the we call it subconscious platform, or you can even call that as the subtle body platform. And this one is a soul platform, spiritual platform, which is the complete bliss. So how does man degrade? Sees a particular thing. All these are impressions, right? So very clearly, this very beautiful thing which we said, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumse Sangate Jupashayate Sanga Sanjayate Kama Kama Krota Vijayate Kraudad Bhavati Sammoha Sammoha Smriti Vibramaha Smriti Vramsad Buddhi Naso Buddhi Nasat Prayashyati. So very clearly, they are talking about, when contemplating the objects of senses, he develops attachment, and from there lust develops, and from there anger develops. And from anger, complete delusion comes, and mind gets bewildered and intelligence is lost. So this is the table. So what happens is contemplate on the senses. So let's say that you're watching a TV, you see an ad, you get confused with the lipstick, you feel like you want to get the lipstick. Prabhus may be interested in the girl also when they see, right? So it's very attractive model they use. So automatically attachment develops into lust. Lust means desire. So lust here respect any kind of desire here is referred as lust, and that turns into anger. That becomes delusion, and the memory is confused, and intelligence is totally lost, and you fall in the material. So it's the same thing. What happens? So any one sense can destroy. It's a very beautiful thing. This is my favorite. We've already seen this. So what is the bait for a fish? Fish is never short of food, right? If it goes down, it has enough fishes. But still, when it sees a fish, it comes out and gets stuck. This is a moth, and it has sense of eyes. So it goes in search of light and gets burned. Elephant runs after a she elephant. That's how they trap it, right? So they use the thing. So you can see all these animals have one sense, but we have all senses. So what will be our position? We are interested in everything. All our senses, all the 5 senses are active. This is like the camel. The camel eats the fruit from the desert. It's basically thorns prick its tongue, but it tastes its own blood and says, wow, it's nice. That's why they call it Muda. So the next one we are moving to regulatory principles of freedom. So what is this freedom and regulatory principles? It's weird, right? But it's actually not that weird if you see. So in the road, if you follow the rules, right? Regulation. You can be free, you can come home. If you don't follow the rules, right? Your criminal law will apply. Civil law is following the rule. If you don't do, you go bang a person, police will take a charge. So mind control is vairagya. Right? Pride. So all this gambling, illicit sex should all be avoided is what they are talking about. So vairagya means control, staying away. Intoxication, all this we are seeing. Now, why freedom? Now, I want freedom. So if you jump from the 100th floor or 50th floor or 10th floor, that's not freedom, right? Freedom itself ends. You will get permanently crippled. Right? So the regulations are mainly for actions to be pure, which will lead to purity of mind and which will lead to peace of mind. And ultimately that leads to happiness. This is the most important thing for teenagers, which you will go out of sight. So all those who are looking in, so how do they manage a tiger? So first, when they see a tiger, they will trap the tiger in the room. In the room means in the cage. And they will let the tiger starve. And at that time, he will control and give him food. So the tiger is basically kept out of food and its quality also comes down. Not the quality of the food, but the nature of the tiger. It becomes angry, but it becomes calmer also. So that's the most important point in the tiger. And likewise, there was a Prabhu who was having a lot of challenge in a girl coming after him. And they told after 1 month, you just don't watch or see the girl. The girl also lost interest on him, right? So she changed her track. So teenage, it happens, right? All of them in school and college, you all will notice there will be a guy who will swear by you, and same way girls. But in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, they will be moving with another boyfriend or a girlfriend, right? That's a current generation. So about a decade before, it was different. The 1 month used to be 1 year or 2 years. Now the tats are coming faster and slower and lesser. So mind is everything. What you think, you become, right? Because so many thoughts are there. These are called impressions. So you have to watch your thoughts, because these thoughts become words and words become action. So the action becomes habit, and habits tame your character, which is your final destination. So the greatest discovery of our generation is that by changing our thoughts, we can alter our life. Luckily, right? We have that control. So we can change and we can still walk. Do not chase illusion pleasure, right? What is material pleasure? It's not new, not in the sense object, not exhausted anywhere. So why is mind enemy? Because it's making us chase after it. That's why we're constantly fighting, because its time is temporary, right? We have time which is temporary, illusion, miserable, enjoying, but this is not the solution. 15th one, we see bondage or free. You can either be a slave of good habits or a servant of slave of bad habits or a servant of good. Now the choice is yours. So slave of bad habits is Maya. So as I told, if you don't follow the civil law, you will follow the criminal law. So either you listen to Krishna and be a servant, or else you will become a slave of Maya. Hare Krishna, sorry. That's a power of habits. Because they make us. But what is it we have to do? So we all have love, right? The love can become, lust, greed, desire. We have wrath, we have illusion. It can go into ignorance and increase the suffering. Whereas the love can be harnessed positively towards Krishna conscious. You move from mode of goodness to Shuddha Sattva, love and external bliss. So the choice is yours, is what it clearly says, right? Vanchakalpa Darubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. All of you, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So we will do spiritual, whatever I was doing, spiritual method after I come back. So we will by then gain more spirituality. So can I have one of you all to chant the shloka? Today is 11th chapter. So again, 66 times. So who's going to do the chanting today? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, you can stop the recording. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yesterday's recording is getting uploaded in our same